Yelp and Broke Scholar took a survey of college students at 144 of the top universities around the U.S. to find the students' go-to quick service restaurant chain. Now, you might be thinking, how does this apply to food trucks? Well, we're going to talk about that. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
More rewards, more savings. With American Express Business Gold, earn up to $395 back in annual statement credits on eligible purchases at select shipping, food delivery, and retail subscription merchants. Enjoy the benefits of membership with the Amex Business Gold Card. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold Card. Built for business by American Express.
The number one quick service restaurant chain that the university students chose was Blaze Pizza. They started in California in 2011, and they've got about 400 units right now. Now you're thinking, what's that got to do with my food truck? It's not that they are quick service restaurant, but what you got to think about is a quick service restaurant is the nearest analog to a food truck. People come up, they want to get their favorite foods, they want to get them quick, and they want to go resume their life. They don't come to a food truck to sit and waste time. They come to a food truck to get served delicious food. Now with Blaze Pizza, it is a brand new concept. It's only 10, 11, 12 years old now. They have 400 units. So imagine if you're in one of those cities that has a top college or a top university, you might want to choose pizza and hang out as near to the colleges as you can, because that's what the kids are looking for. It's got to be delicious pizza. The number 2 restaurant, also a relatively newcomer to the QSR, not McDonald's, it's Five Guys. They started in the DC metro area, and it took them 15 years to grow to 5 units. But today they've got 1,700 units, and they got 1,300 more in development for the coming years. They sell what? Burgers. And they sell them in a restaurant that's full of what? Peanuts. They cook in peanut oil. People freak out about that. You can't cook in peanut oil because of allergies. But yet Five Guys is the number 2, and it's selling a handheld product, very humble burger. Number 2. The number 3 restaurant chain, according to the college students at 144 of the top universities, is Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is an older franchise. They started in Point Pleasant, New Jersey in 1956, but they really didn't start to grow to where people would even recognize who they were until 1987. And now today they've got more than 2,000 units. And what does Jersey Mike's sell? Sub sandwiches. So the top 3, pizza, hamburgers, sub sandwiches. All stuff that you can get relatively quickly. All stuff that is really comforting. It's food to remind you of home. And it's easy to carry, easy to eat. The number 4 and number 5 actually tied. And those are Chick-fil-A, which started in Georgia in 1946. They have 2,900 units now. And they are the number 1 chain in the world in sales per unit. They average sales of $8.1 million a year. They do it being closed every single Sunday. And the sad thing is there's no other sandwich chain that's above $5 million. So Chick-fil-A not only puts Burger King and McDonald's and Wendy's and Starbucks and all of those chains to shame in their sales per unit, they are so far ahead of them, no one's even close. Even the newcomers aren't getting that. And there's only a handful of restaurants in general that are doing more sales per unit. And all of those restaurants are sit-down restaurants. Chick-fil-A is the one to emulate. They do it with a delicious product cooked in what? Peanut oil again. They teach all their employees how to have really good manners, and they are extremely fast. Now, I know that if you look up Chick-fil-A and their speed of service, you'll see that they're kind of farther down the list. But there should always be a notation on those lists. Chick-fil-A has more cars in their drive-thru when the timing starts than any other restaurant chain. So, for example, on average, Chick-fil-A will have 11 cars in the drive-thru. So even if they move every car at 1 minute intervals, that 12th car is going to take 11 minutes before they get up to get their food. That's kind of a long time. But because the cars are constantly moving, people don't mind. You go to McDonald's and have 4 cars in line and it takes you 11 minutes, you get kind of upset. Because the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth is, well, what did they order? What's it taking so long? So there is a difference. But Chick-fil-A, that's the one to emulate. They were the number 4 choice. They tied with Jimmy John's, which started in Illinois in 1983. And they have now 3,000 units. Jimmy John sells what? Sub sandwiches. So 2 of the top 5 are sub sandwiches. Comfort food, food that's recognizable, food that's easy to consume, especially if you're on the go. So you have pizza, burgers, subs, and chicken sandwiches being the top sellers for Generation Z, the younger generation, the college age kids. So if you're in a populated area that skews younger, like we're talking Tallahassee or Gainesville, Florida, or anywhere else there's a major university, and those time periods throughout the year when the college and the university is in session, you might want to think about, maybe I should favor pizza, maybe I should favor burgers, maybe I should consider subs, because those are the popular foods. That's what people are looking for. And then you can be a little tricky with the food and add on the differentiating points, where we're going to make it a little bit spicy, or we're going to make it a little bit of an odd combination. We're going to throw mac and cheese on top of a burger. You can certainly do those things as well, but it's the basics. Pizza, hamburgers, sub sandwiches, chicken sandwiches. None of them are fancy. None of them are overcomplicated, but they are there for the kids to come out and eat. And if the kids are coming out and eat, then that means you're going to have a lot more other folks coming out to eat as well, because business spurs more business. The busier you are, the more people want to come and hang out with you. But you got to start somewhere. So don't sit down and think about, what do I got to do that's different? At the point in 2001 when Five Guys started to expand, at that point, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's all had several thousand units in the country. The Burger King that I had in 2000 and 2001, Burger King numbers all their units in succession. They don't do any kind of fancy numbering scheme. So the store that I had was store number 12158. So that's 12,158th Burger King. And Five Guys went ahead and jumped right in and said, yep, we can sell burgers and compete with the big boys. So don't be afraid to sell what somebody else is selling. Just make it better. Make your service better. Make your social media better. Make your marketing better. You know, there's a million sub places, both franchise and chain and then local. Same with pizza. There's a whole bunch of very small pizza chains, 5-10 stores at most, all around the country. And then you get into the single units. There are several hundred, I would dare say several thousand pizza places in the U.S. And yet Blaze Pizza started and now has 400 units. And they are super popular in their areas. So don't be afraid of trying to duplicate what other people do. Just do it better. You don't have to have that unique idea. You don't have to have that unique product that's going to drive people in. But you can have some creative products. But you got to have the things that people want. Basic pizza, basic hamburger, basic sub sandwich, basic chicken. And then you can do the variations from there. But don't be afraid of being the 10th taco truck in your area or being the 20th barbecue truck in your area. Just be the best barbecue truck and show how you're different, how you're better. And those differences come in the same things I always talk about: quality, service, cleanliness, community. When you hit on all 4 of those different actions, your business is going to succeed. Most people hit 1, sometimes 2, but the ones that are the all-stars, the ones that are making good money, the ones that can take days off and not worry about it, like Chick-fil-A has every Sunday off and they don't worry about it. They're the ones that are doing quality, service, cleanliness, and community at the peak of their game. Look what Chick-fil-A does. Quality. Their food is good quality. If the management within the restaurant follows the specifications that Chick-fil-A has outlined for them on their food, it's good quality food. Now, whether you want to complain about it being fast food or not doesn't matter. It's still good quality food. And a lot of their different recipes for their salads and their waffle cut fries and all the other things they sell, they're good quality food. It may not pique your particular interest by taste, but the food is still good quality. Their service, though, is a mile ahead of anybody else. You come into their restaurants and for the most part, you're greeted with somebody that makes you feel like they're happy to see you. You're hearing the thank you and it's my pleasure. You're hearing the kind of niceties that sadly the world has long forgotten. but Chick-fil-A still does them. You go in and you see smiling people, you see happy people, and you see a bunch of them. You don't see overworked, tired people with their hair all messed up, the hat's halfway on. Chick-fil-A has standards, and they enforce those standards. But when you go into them, you know the service is going to be stellar. It's friendly and it's fast. Then the cleanliness. Look at a Chick-fil-A. No matter how busy it is, they've got people that are out wiping tables. They got people taking care of the bathrooms. They got people sweeping the floor. They've got people that are taking care of the facility, the restaurant, as well as serving people. You don't see rundown Chick-fil-A's. They remodel those things so frequently they don't hardly even get old. But they take care of the cleanliness. Everything is sparkling. Everything is sanitary. And then look at their marketing. There's television commercials that don't have a thing to do with the food, but it's marketing the people. That's what I talk about. We market to people. We want people to come back and eat our food. So watch some of Chick-fil-A's commercials. Very rarely are they talking about food. They're talking about people. They're talking about the interaction between the employees and the people. That's what sets Chick-fil-A apart. That's how they are the #1 restaurant chain in the world in sales per unit at $8 million. And like I said before, no other chain is above $5 million. And that's the ones that even have like Starbucks or Subway has so many more units, but their units don't average very much. Starbucks averages a little over $1 million a unit. Now, yeah, that's a whole bunch of coffee, but it's a whole bunch of expensive coffee. It's not a whole lot of guests when you break it down. Chick-fil-A is putting a whole bunch of guests through every single day. We sell to people. Our product is food, but we sell to people. We market to people. So that's the top 5, according to, again, Yelp and Broke Scholar. And just to review, the top 5 was a pizza, a burger, 2 subs, and a chicken sandwich. So all of that food is super humble. Just start with whatever makes you feel good to sell, but don't be afraid to duplicate. I sell burgers. I've been selling them since the 80s. Sell hot dogs since the 80s. Very humble food, and I've sold a bunch. You guys can do exactly the same. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow, because you know I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.